kind of doing it a little different this morning. Got some special numbers we want to share with you guys, and the coach told me last week we ought to do things a little different, and it's always nice to change up the scheme a little bit, if you will. I'm talking football language now, the scheme here.
Well, I think people get tired of hearing me talk. So
no, it's me. He just told me. Somebody just told me they didn't want to hear me talk anymore.
Good crowd in here this morning too. A lot of chatter going on football season, but glad to have Tez and Coach Brewer. They do such a wonderful job, and glad to have them this morning.
Well, we came off of a Thursday night game. It's rare that you have a Thursday night game. It kind of talking about getting in a rhythm. When you have a Thursday night game or a Saturday game, especially in high school, it does tend to change your setup up through the week and how you go about doing things. But we had a key region game Thursday night against Cedartown. They came in 2-1 in the region. We were 3-0 in the region. They were 5-2 overall. We were 7-1 overall, and now we come away with a victory, 23-20. And guys, if you weren't at that game, we certainly hope you were listening to it. But what an exciting game, back and forth. I told you after the game, well, we needed that. And you said, I don't think we needed that, and I wasn't mentioning it. But if we were going to get one, this would be the time to get one and win with it.
Well, there was so much on the line for Thursday night. with home field playoff advantage on the line and an opportunity to go play for the region championship. There was just a lot of things on the line, and coming off an emotional win against LaGrange on Friday and then a short week. We practiced the guys on Sunday, and I think we were just emotionally and physically tired, and we knew that going in that was going to be a challenge, and we just kept playing, kept fighting. We're down at halftime, ended up shutting them out in the second half. Coaches did a real good job getting them schemed up, and just proud of the effort because these guys just never quit, and they keep battling, keep fighting. And when you have that, you have a chance.
Well, we had a chance last Thursday night, and like I say, you guys were there. You saw the continuous fight in the Tigers. They never gave up, and like you posted on Facebook, you'll go to battle with them any day, every kid out there. They have a lot of heart, and a lot of the fans have noticed that. Hey, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Montez Crow and Coach Paul Brewer. We're going to talk some offensive numbers. You're watching and listening to Troup Tiger Saturday morning quarterback show here live at the Kia showroom. You guys come on out and have a biscuit with us and see the show. We'll be right back on Eagle Sports.
Hi friends, Jess Lichter here with Kia of LaGrange. We're going pink this month for breast cancer awareness, and we'll be donating a portion of our sales to the Breast Friends for Life Hope for a Day campaign. So stop by and check out our selection of Kias and help support a great cause. It's fall savings times, which means the 16s, they gotta go to make room for the 17s. You can own a 16 Kia Cadenza for as little as $23,500. And with prices like these are not gonna last long. Come see us today or online at KiaofLaGrange.com to help support your local economy.
Price plus tax tag and title. Stock number 19215.
Introducing the most valuable provider, your nationally ranked WellStar West Georgia Medical Center. Ranked a top 100 large community hospital by Truven Health Analytics. Named a top 100 great community hospital by Becker's Hospital Review. Rated top 100 in medical excellence and patient safety by CareChecks. WellStar West Georgia Medical Center. Award-winning healthcare right here in LaGrange. To learn more, visit wellstar.org/WGMC. We believe in life well lived.
Russ Brown, owner of LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental, has all the tools and equipment handymen and contractors need in our area. And if you're planning a wedding, party, tailgate, reunion, or corporate event, LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental has you covered. Like them on Facebook and see all the particulars they offer. Plus, they're open Monday through Saturday. LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental, Greenville Street, LaGrange, next to CVS Pharmacy. Phone 706-882-8665. That's 706-882-8665. LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental.
Montez hands the ball off.
Touchdown, Tigers!
Cam Russell takes it, goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers!
I hate to steal your thunder, Jack, but man, is it exciting down here on the field.
No doubt.
Between Ethan Short and Keyshawn Cameron and Seth Adams and Brandon Barrington, all opening up holes along with Brandon Turner. Man, Cameron Russell just wide open walked in the end zone against those huge defensive linemen for Cedartown.
Well, I do like to give the offensive linemen credit, to make sure they get their name on the rail because, Cameron loves to run the football, but that offensive line blocking makes a big difference too.
Boy, they do, and they do a superb job, and I'm sure Montez is going to talk about that in a minute. But Cameron Russell, I mean, he was beat up, he was hurting, he got a little banged up in the LaGrange game, and it was all guts for him Thursday night. And just so thankful that he's on our side, love him to death. And he played with some pain, and I told him, I said, listen, you can rest next week. I didn't mean that literally, but but just so proud of him and how those guys blocked up front.
Tell you what, just glad to call out. Speaking of calling out people, Coach Paul Brewer's been a quarterback coach for the. I know this year. I'm not sure about last year, but man, what a difference a season makes. We saw what Montez had some capabilities of doing last year, especially in that last game against Whitewater. Wound up winning that ball game, and I know you've talked several times about how Coach Brewer's worked with Montez over the summer, and just really honed in his skills. And with that being said, Coach Brewer, we've got some numbers I'd like for you to share. Some pretty exciting times here around Troup High School for a team that's used to running the football.
It is, and one thing we'll say first, and I love to take all the credit for it, but part of finding what we do is you got to find the right guys to be on the bus with you. When you find the right guys to do that, it makes our job a lot easier. I mean, it does. So, but number-wise, sure, I mean, we talked about breaking some records last week, but I want to say passing-wise, we're probably at 1,350 some odd yards, which is a couple hundred over what I think the previous record was. I think we've thrown 14 touchdowns or so to this point. But the good part is, I mean, we know we've got a whole lot more room to get better. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of looking forward to the days to come.
Well, it is exciting to see, all the fans in the stands. They realize, used to. I had somebody tell me Thursday night. He said, "I think we've got to pass it in order to run it." I said, "I don't care which came first, whether you run it to pass it or pass it to run it. It all works down the road."
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
That's right.
So the good thing is, I don't think that people realize, and we'll give credit to Coach Holt, offensive coordinator. There's a lot of things that we're asking Montez to do offensively, where a lot of it's based on what the defense is giving us. Mm-hmm. I mean, so there could be anything happening on either play. So some nights we feel like we're going to have success doing either one because, but just the sheer things that we're doing that you can't see from the stands. I think some people would be amazed to come into the room on Saturdays and Sundays when we're talking about it to know what all is really going on. Mm-hmm. So
people that think they know what the play call is. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into that. It's from all the reading and stuff that we ask Montez to do, and the number of built-in options that he has on a particular play is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about a few weeks ago about the run-pass option and all the checkoffs he's got to do. And I encourage people, as you're up in the stands, sometimes, you always want to watch the quarterback, Montez. You always want to see, because that's just a fan thing, that they're going to watch the ball flow. So they're going to watch it go into the quarterback's hands. And next thing you know, they see that pass going downfield, and what they don't see is roughing the passer. Or what they don't see is the offensive lineman blocking that left tackle from your blind side. So I encourage them sometime to, don't follow the quarterback or don't follow the running back. Just pick a lineman out and just see what he does. It kind of helps learn the game of football. But with that, Coach Brewer talked about a lot of reads and checkoffs that you've got a lot of things depending on what the defense is giving you. Kind of go through as you come up to the line and you get set. What's going through your mind? How are you looking at that defense? What are you thinking about?
Well, first I got to come up and I got to read the DBs, see if it's cover 4, cover 2, cover 3, and then we read off of that. And based on their alignment, we have either a run pass option, or you just run, or you just pass. Mm-hmm. And I got to read probably the Sam linebacker or the middle linebacker, and make it easy when they got coaches like these.
All right. Well, it does. It certainly helps. He didn't want to really take a whole lot of that credit, but you're right. It's that good coaching. And but you've also got a huge responsibility to make that right decision based on how he's taught you to read that defense.
Well, and I tell you, and these two guys right here work so well together. It goes from Montez wearing a GoPro on his helmet to film study to chalkboard to this and that, and these two guys being on the same page and working as one. I told Tez on the way over here this morning that he's as close to a coach on the field as you can get. That position and what we're asking him to do is so important.
Well, and the fans now, GoPro in practice, not in the game. I just want to make sure we clear that up.
That would be illegal.
In case you're
we thought about it. But
that would be kind of nice. Like, why can't we do that? Maybe one day they will be able to do that. I don't know. But So do they ever set you up in a disguise package if you pull up and they kind of run some people up Navy cover 2 and you look around and all of a sudden they bust out of it? How do you react on something like that when they're disguising the coverage in the secondary and then break out of it about the time you've already checked off? How do you work on something like that?
Well, like later on in the week, whenever we're in practice, coach like to try to disguise it sometimes, so it's like game like, and most of the time they try to go to cover 3 or cover 4. Mm-hmm. Whenever they back up, I know we can't throw it deep.
Right.
So I just try to hand it off and let playmakers get in space with linebacker.
Okay. All right. That's a good point. So do you have a situation, Coach Brewer, where let's say when Bridwell's in there, not so much flag because he's more of your, I guess, your H-back, setback. But when you bring Bridwell in there, do you ever have something that after a certain count, and does he step out inside to give Montez another option to throw, or is there always that tailback that last option he's got somebody sitting out in the flats, or how does that work?
Well, kind of how we combat it, and it's not really last-second stuff like that. A lot of ways we plan throughout the week of what pressures, based on what we're doing, it's somewhat predictable what we're going to see from week to week. Not exactly, but you kind of know what pressures, and you kind of know based on what we're doing what you're going to see. So we try to do a good job during the week of setting it up to where, this is what pressure you're going to see, this is what pressure, and giving him the freedom to make certain calls that we can't, because a lot of times an offensive coordinator or a quarterback coach, we're just kind of guessing about what we might see. Sometimes when something goes different, and then another way we combat it is we're going to go fast sometimes when you might not be expecting it. And if we think you're trying to trick us, then we're going to try to get that snap off in 5 or 6 seconds while you're looking over at coaches trying to trick us. You may not be lined up to play. So
yeah,
and that may be getting into too much inside baseball there, but that's we've got ways to combat you doing things. Not that we're always successful, but we think we have a plan for folks. If we're going fast, you're going to have a hard time disguising.
Right.
And I think something to add to what Coach Brewer said is that there's only, based on what we're doing, there's only so many things a defense can do. I mean, you think sitting in the bleachers that people can throw out 100 different defenses at you, but they really cannot, based on our alignment and the playmakers we have in certain places. We know from being some defensive coaches ourselves that hey, there's only certain things they can do because of the weapons we've got on the field. Wouldn't you say that, Coach Brewer?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to what the people that we're reading and the things that we're doing. And again, it goes back to the quarterback position. A lot of guys couldn't handle that. I mean, you just couldn't. You couldn't do the things that we're doing if you didn't have the mind frame to be able to go out there and see what's going on. But in a lot of ways, there's areas of the field that we're attacking. And if you get to playing around too much, we think we're going to bite you.
I would say this, Greg, just to make a note. If you're a quarterback looking to go to the next level, this is a very, very good system to play in. I mean, you are getting coached, and you're getting coached by guys that know what the heck they're doing, and it's really prepping you going to the next level. Instead of us being the high school coaches and calling every play and them running with it and sticking with it, I mean, there are so many built-in things here. So, it's just a fun system, I'd guess. I'll let Tez talk about that a little bit. But it's a lot of hard work, but it's a true quarterback system that we have.
It's ironic that you say that because I was going to lead into that next. You mentioned about the key guys you got on the field, so many athletes you've got. How does it feel that when you've got what I call playmakers, you've got Ken Truitt, you've got Chance Hill, you've got Schweitzer, you've got Kobe Hudson,
Kenley,
you've got Bridwell, you've got Cameron Russell out of the backfield. What confidence level when you think, man, I can throw the ball to any one of these 5 or 6 guys? How does it feel when you walk up the line? There's got to be a certain feel good about that.
Well, I think it's good because first we got the relationship where I know I can throw it to them and they're most likely going to catch it. And then Cam coming out of the backfield, and we got so many seniors on the team. And for me, from a leader standpoint, and I got all those seniors around me, it makes me feel good because I know I can just put the ball up and most of them going to go get it.
Well, speaking of seniors, I know Chance is a senior, Ken Truitt's a senior, Cameron Russell's a senior. So we're working on some backup, right? Because we're going to be still throwing this football next year. You feel good about your and not to go too far out, but you always got to be planning for next game, and also you got to be way back in the back thinking about next year too. Not you, but the coaching staff, I know. But so you got some buddies lined up to maybe throw to next year.
Yeah, I got a lot of them. We're gonna be missing a lot of guys next year, but we still got Kobe Hudson as a freshman. We got a few guys playing JV that need to step up.
Okay.
And that's mostly on a lot of us to try to get them ready.
Tyree Carlisle scored 2 touchdowns.
I refer to him as Montez's cousin. I Have I got that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just said I'm just going to call him Montez's cousin. So,
and, you know, 2 touchdowns for a sophomore.
We were
big touchdowns too.
And you know, Coach, we were talking about, not you and I during the game. I think Schweitzer and I, and then Coach Garner and I were talking about, wouldn't it be nice to finally see? And I realize he's just getting some touches, so he's probably touched the ball 4 or 5 times, 6, 8 times this year, and 2 or 3 touchdowns. Boom. And he's got that. I know he swung around off left tackle one time, did a 360 and spun around and got another 3 yards. We haven't had a juking type take care of the ball back that can pick you up another 5 or 6 yards. Now, one of the things I noticed you grin, I said take care of the football. Well, sometimes that loaf of bread gets out there, but I kind of excited about the future with Carlisle running the football.
Yeah, we thought early on in practice, and he's been with us this year, we probably thought a month and a half ago that he could help us. Mm-hmm. It was just a matter of, we had a couple of backs, and that way we had one unfortunately get hurt a couple of games ago, and we knew he was ready, but the first game we really threw him out against was, rival game.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of worried a little bit about managing. There's a lot of people here and a lot of pressure on him, but he handled it well, real well. So yeah, we had I had a couple of calls that night asking, well, who is that guy? And I said, don't worry, we got this kid's ready to play. So but yeah, he's helped big time. He's more of a strider than what we have right now, which is good. But yeah, taking care of the ball, the spin moves and all that stuff looks good. But
it's highlight stuff. Just make sure you don't fumble the football.
Yeah, hang on to the ball.
Hey, speaking of highlights, you guys join us this morning. Call your buddies, get on the radio, tell them to listen to the radio. We're having a lot of fun out here talking to Coach Paul Brewer and the quarterback Montez Crow here on the Saturday morning quarterback show here live at the Kia showroom. I'm your host Greg Hicks along with head coach Tanner Glisson. We'll be right back on Eagle Sports.
Hi friends, Jess Lichter here with Kia of LaGrange. We're going pink this month for breast cancer awareness, and we'll be donating a portion of our sales to the Breast Friends for Life Hope for a Day campaign. So stop by and check out our selection of Kias and help support a great cause. It's fall savings time between the 16s. They gotta go to make room for the 17s. You can own a 16 Kia Cadenza for as little as $23,500. And with prices like these are not going to last long. Come see us today or online at KiaofLaGrange.com to help support your local economy.
Price plus tax tag and title. Stock number 19215. Good food. Where do you find it? Because when you spend your hard-earned money, you want good food. So the place you'll find that good food is at Rogers Barbecue on New Franklin Road in LaGrange, where they only serve American-grown catfish, barbecue cooked to perfection, and with all the fixings to make it worth every penny. Rogers Barbecue is locally owned and run with care since 1945. Come eat with us Monday through Saturday from 11 to 9 or use our carry-out window. Rogers Barbecue, New Franklin Road, LaGrange. Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's the step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at Remax Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
Defense needs to make a big play here. Twins left and right. The quarterback, Wofford, is going to call from the shotgun set. He's standing on his 15, takes it, backs up the pass, got a man in his face. He dodges one, goes down.
Yes!
Sacked to the backfield.
King Makuta! King Makuta's been working on that all night. He finally gets a sack in the backfield. He comes off the end, beats his man. Quarterback takes about an 8-step drop. Makuta grabs him with his big long arms and throws him down for about a 6-yard loss. It'll be 4th down and 12.
We have to give the defense some kudos. I know we're talking offense tonight, but man,
the offense got get all the love.
Don't they do it? But I tell you who got some love at halftime. I'm sure those defensive guys were feeling the love. But you know what?
I don't know about at halftime.
Well, that was really sarcasm there.
Speaking of halftime, I think Coach Alba ripped the defense pretty good at halftime. We let the Hail Mary pass. We gave up a Hail Mary right before half, and we practiced those situations before, and that was kind of disappointing that we kind of got what I call watching the paint dry.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of got stuck there just kind of watching the play, and that was disappointing. But shut them out in the second half, and that was good to see.
Well, that's what I was wanting to point out is, you came out in the third quarter and just pin your ears back, as we say. And, man, they just came after these guys and shut them down. A lot of folks don't realize, they scored their touchdowns in the first half, and we kind of woke up a little bit, got woken up at halftime when I talking about feeling the love. I'm sure Coach Alba shared the love with them. But it was amazing to see. Sometimes you just need to, as I think Kevin Martin was quoted in the paper, that sometimes you just need to challenge yourself, just kind of refocus, and that's good. That's good that defense. They say, what is it? Offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Well, you know what? We need them both. So let's sell all the tickets we can get, Coach Brewer.
The beauty of this team has been since week one, and it's kind of been fun to watch. It's the right people have stepped up at the right time. Every game's been a little bit different. I mean, the other night for offense, the first half, nothing was going right. I mean, it was one of those days where we're tripping up, falling down the stairs, and hurting ourselves and having a flat tire, and leaving the window. Everything that could have happened wrong.
Yeah.
For us. But the trick was the other side of the ball was doing. They did everything they had to do for us to survive, and then we kind of got out there in the second half. And what we talked about at halftime is, look, just survive. I mean, we got to figure out a way to get it done when when things aren't going well, and we did. I mean, and that's to speak for the kids for just finding a way, and they've done that all year, which has been the fun part for us to sit back and watch.
And just as much fun when you talk about keyword, you said the kids. Mm-hmm. I think. We got a bunch of sophomores out there that have really grown. They're growing up this season. Yeah. We've got a junior quarterback that's got the rest of this season and all of next year to really improve and get better. And we've got a young offensive. When I said young earlier, Coach corrected me. Said, "Well, it's inexperienced." Well, young inexperienced. Okay, tomato. I think But bottom line is, we got a lot of young guys, a lot of sophomores. Now they're growing into this season. They're becoming juniors real quick. But your thought about the offensive, whether it be the skill positions, what do you see? You've got Kobe Hudson. How many guys did you know of a ninth grader that comes out and that's got that kind of maturity level as a probably a 14-year-old maybe?
Yeah. No, and he's done a good job for us. All those guys have done well, and we're gonna push Kobe because we even think he can do more for us. I mean we're pushing him. We think there's no limits there. I think the only limit he's got is kind of what he put, what we put on ourselves sometimes. Yeah. So we're gonna push him to do bigger and better things as we keep going. But those guys, the fun part for all of us has been just watching, how we just made plays at the right time. Whether it's been throwing the ball, running the ball, intercepting turnovers, big plays that we've made, just turning the ball over defensively at the right time. I mean, I'm not sure we've been in bad field position the last 4 weeks. I don't remember us losing a field position. And that goes back to your kicker and punter and those guys. So it's been fun to watch and just,
Well, it's funny you say that because the first three possessions of last night, Thursday night's second half, we were playing a short field.
That's been the last second half of the year.
That is exciting when you come up and you've got first down and 10, new possession inside the 40-yard line, heading south for a touchdown. Right. That's kind of nice, and it kind of gives you an extra comfort level. Speaking of knowing that you walk in and the kind of relationships, Montez, you have with the Ken, with the Kobe, with the Chance, throughout the day in the school. You guys hang out, you talk. When you get to practice, do you love on each other kind of thing? And I say this in all respect because, Scott, my son, wrestles. And he had a situation the other day in practice, and he got a phone call that night. I said, "What was that about, son?" He said, "Well, we had to make up. We love each other, and so friends do have differences of opinion, but if they're true friends, they figure out how to work it out." But what kind of relationships do you have with your guys, especially wideouts and stuff?
Well, early in the summer, me and Kobe were fighting for the quarterback spot. Mm-hmm. And once he got wide receiver, I was just letting him know, I was like, okay, you're a playmaker. You got to do big things, big-time player, make big-time plays. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he owned up to it, and I was like, okay, you got my respect. Yeah. That's why I started throwing the ball to him more to see what I can get out of him. And Thursday night, Ken wrote me on Snapchat, and he was like, just put that night behind you. He was like, we still got you. He was like, just keep airing it out. We're gonna make big plays for you. Mm-hmm. It's just these guys, they pick me up whenever I need picking up.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we gel so good.
Well, good. That means a lot. I know it means a lot to Coach Brewer. It means a heck of a lot to Coach Glisson that you guys are doing that because he's got that confidence level that when things are like like Thursday night, Coach, you said we just couldn't trip over. We was tripping down the stairs. There was a funk that we couldn't get off. You just have that confidence level that somehow we're going to make this happen. And it's because you guys trust each other and have that kind of relationship. And that's neat. I'm glad to see that. I hadn't heard you tell me that before about, Kobe. And, I remember last spring game, he kind of like, who is this kid come up from Long Cane? And I said, that's good for Montez. He's going to have a little challenge. And that's good because, competition breeds success. So that's good that Kobe can go out and be a wideout. And wow, he's done some fantastic things on your great arm this year. So that's practice. How's your take on, Kobe stepping up and even Chance Hill getting, being a senior? He's had a pretty good year as a senior year.
Well, and the thing that these guys don't even realize how much better they've gotten because, like the other night, as bad as things were, we came out in the second half, and when we had to have plays, we just made them. And it was that way in the Bowden game and several games down the line that we just went out and got – and they don't even realize what they're doing. It's going to kind of be scary when we put it together from play one. But, yeah, the kids have been – they've – I can't remember having a bad practice. And we talked about – Coach G's talked about this several times. I just don't remember us having a bad practice this year. Where, coaches will fuss at them and, act like we have and get them, rip them, and do what we need to do. But – they've come out really with a mindset of let's get better every day. And that's been great to be a part of. I mean, just the culture that's been set up. It's just been fun to go to work every day instead of being, oh, Lord, here we go again. But it's been
it is exciting.
Let's get out there and go to work, and the time goes by pretty fast.
Yeah.
Greg, let me give you an example of this. Anytime you have high-character kids that are all going on the same bus, going in the same direction, you got a chance. Friday night after the game, we had a kid named Jeremiah Holston. He's a 9th grade kid, linebacker. He found a wallet out in the parking lot of one of his teammates that had $150 in it, and brought it and turned it in to me and said, hey, Coach, I found this out in the parking lot. Out of 17 years of coaching, I don't know if I've ever had that happen. That's a lot of money, $150. But that's just one example of the type of character kids that we have in our program, and they come and they punch that time clock every day to go to work and try to get better. And like Coach Brewer said, I guarantee you I can count on one hand the number of practices that I thought were not what I would call really good practices this year. And the challenge to us is going to be to maintain it, because I've told the guys from the get-go it's going to be harder to stay on top than it is to get to the top.
Absolutely.
And so that's what's so impressive about Alabama. They're able to stay on top.
It's a sustainable process. It's a sustainable program. You're right. People said, man, you guys got it turned around this year. I said, time out. That was a working process 20 games ago. Guys, when we were busy going 1-9 last year, I said the true fan, and we talked about this last year, if you're a hardcore fan, you're going to watch us go 1-9 last year and see some bright spots, see some potential, see some things that other people weren't seeing other than, here we go, lost another one. This is a working process.
Well, going back to the game with Whitewater last year, we won 8 out of 9, and really and truly with that Hardaway game this year, we feel like we should be 9 out of 9. Yeah. And but it's fun to see the progress, and we're nowhere close to a finished product.
Cool. Hey, we're going to take a short break. You guys, come on out to Kia. Enjoy this beautiful weather today. Gorgeous blue sky. Come out and drive a Kia Soul, Kia Optima, whatever it is. These guys are not going to pressure you. You guys come on out. They'll let you meander around the parking lot. And you want to talk to somebody, Mr. Thornton's ready to sell you a vehicle. Come on out, and there you go. I get a little commission on it. There you go. We'll be right back on Eagle Sports.
Hi friends, Jess Lichter here with Kia of LaGrange. We're going pink this month for breast cancer awareness, and we'll be donating a portion of our sales to the Breast Friends for Life Hope for a Day campaign. So stop by and check out our selection of Kias and help support a great cause. It's fall savings times. Between the 16s, they gotta go to make room for the 17s. You can own a 16 Kia Cadenza for as little as $23,500. And with prices like these are not gonna last long, come see us today or online at KiaofLaGrange.com to help support your local economy.
Price plus tax tag and title. Stock number 19215. There's a secret to beating injuries or ailments. Get the right team. Emory Southern Orthopedics, well-trained, experienced doctors, nurses, and staff are that team. These teammates listen and understand your specific condition and provide high-quality hometown care that will get you back into your game. For more information about Emory Southern Orthopedics team, visit www.southernorthopedics.com.
Introducing the most valuable your nationally ranked WellStar West Georgia Medical Center, ranked a top 100 large community hospital by Troup Health Analytics, named a top 100 great community hospital by Becker's Hospital Review, rated top 100 medical excellence and patient safety by CareChecks. WellStar West Georgia Medical Center, award-winning healthcare right here in LaGrange. To learn more, visit wellstar.org/WGMC. We believe in life well lived.
Quarterback Wofford looking. Here comes the pressure from the back side, completely across the middle of the field. Tigers with a huge fumble recovery right in the middle of the field.
Chance Hill comes up with it. Senior Chance Hill on senior night comes up with it. Nick Ligon, along with Ken Truitt, caused that fumble. Joko Willis is on the spot.
Sorry about that. That was probably me. I was probably too excited.
Well, we're back here at the showroom of Kia of LaGrange, and tell you what, the highlights from Thursday night game really does reflect what we all got to enjoy on Thursday night. It was a lot of excitement, very close ball game, and a lot of fun. And I know y'all like to see things close here at Kia of LaGrange. Make sure you get those deals done, and if you get close, you're gonna make it happen. That's what they say. And anyway, I know you've got a lot of great Kias here, and y'all ready to work on some deals and help people find a car of their dreams.
We do. I'll tell you what, we got one of the best selections in the state of Georgia. I'll tell you what, folks. You know, if you get in here, folks, they had some great games over this past week, you know, with the high school. You know, y'all come on in, you score your own touchdowns on some great savings, folks. We got some huge rebates going on some of these vehicles out here. Got some 2017, some closeouts on 16s. Folks, you just need to come on down, check out the savings down here.
There you go. Let's go back to Greg, and thank you again to Kia LaGrange for having us here at the showroom. It really is a perfect place to do the coaches show.
We've certainly enjoyed having Coach Paul Brewer here, the quarterback coach, along with Montez Crow, a junior quarterback in his first full season at earning a starting quarterback spot, as he mentioned just before the break. Good relationships with his wideouts and his tailbacks and his offensive line. We just basically all know that, hey, the quarterback's a captain. Whether you're chosen captain or not, you just expect it to be the leader. Speaking of being a leader, you know, Coach, we've at break we were talking about we've got two more games. They're both two more regular season games. Let me point that out. And they're both away. We'll be traveling to Central of Carroll County next week, up in Carrollton, just as you come up 41. As about the time you get back into civilization, hang a right behind Home Depot, and the football stadium's on your right. Beside the school, it'll be another key region matchup. Let's don't overlook the fact that it is a region game for us. And, you know, even though they're 0-8, that's the last thing on our mind, Coach. Right now, you're shooting for an 8-win season.
Yeah, that's crucial. You know, I guess these are unofficial records here that I have in front of me, but this was given to me just the other day that since 1956, so I guess that's been 60 years, that Troup football has won 8 or more games 8 times. Mm-hmm. I think last week on the radio I said 6 times, but it's happened 8 times, and 5 of those times we've been 8-3. So this week we have a chance to make history. We can be the 9th team in 60 years to win 8 or more games, and to me that's important. That's important that we go out there and get that W on Friday against Central. We know what it's like to have not won a game at this point in the season like last year. So we were still hungry last year when we went and lost to Fayette County by a field goal, and then we beat Whitewater. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that Central will come in with that same type of hunger and energy, and so we got to go take care of business. We cannot look ahead because we know the region championship is sitting out there the very next week, but it's more important that we get better this week and we make some history.
I totally agree with you, Coach. And let me just reflect a bit. I'm one of those teams that went 1-9 and the next year went 8-3 back in '78. And wow, it's a feel-good situation. Hey, fans, you've been traveling well all year. Travel with us next Friday, going to Carrollton to watch Central and the Tigers play. After that, we'll be back here next Saturday morning live at the Kia showroom. You guys come on out next Saturday as well. But more importantly, we need to see you there Friday night. Hey, with that being said, I'm Greg Hicks, your host, along with head coach Tanner Glisson, Montez Crow, the quarterback, Paul Brewer, the quarterback's coach. Go Tigers. We'll see you next week.